Before he stepped into the batter's box in the bottom of the ninth inning of Game 7 of the 1960 World Series and stepped into baseball history, Bill Mazeroski was best known as a slick fielding second baseman. In 1954, the Pirates initially signed him as a shortstop, but with an influx of players in their system at short, the Pirates began breaking in Maz at second. He was called up to the majors in the summer of 1956 at age 19, and by the following season, he was the Pirates' permanent second baseman, a position he mastered for the next decade and a half, leading him to 8 Gold Glove awards and 10 All-Star Game appearances.
I know when he came out of the minor leagues, I was so proud to play next to him. He was just the best second baseman the game has ever seen.
I would say he was almost perfect as a second baseman. He was perfect at completing a double play.
By the late 50s, Mazeroski was gaining a reputation as one of the best fielders in the sport, and the Pirates were becoming legitimate contenders.
What are your thoughts now as you approach the 1959 season?
Well, I think they were a little stronger this year than we were the last.
In 1960, the Pirates' 95 wins landed them the National League pennant and a spot in the World Series against the heavily favored Yankees. The first 6 games were split 3 apiece, with the Yankees dominating in their 3 wins. Leading to Game 7, Thursday afternoon, October 13th, Forbes Field, a seesaw battle filled with dramatics. In the bottom of the 8th, Hal Smith hit a 3-run homer that put the Pirates ahead 9-7, and they were 3 outs away from a title. And Hal Smith was on his way to becoming a World Series legend. But the Yankees did not go quietly. They tied the game at 9 in the top of the 9th, setting the stage for the bottom of the 9th, with Mazeroski leading off to face Ralph Terry.
And I come and sat on the bench with my head down, and I said, how in the world did they tie this thing up? I don't know. How are they going to beat us? Walking to the plate, I had no ideas of trying to hit a home run or do anything. Just hit the ball hard somewhere.
Mazeroski took the first pitch for a ball. Then at 3:36 p.m., he delivered a moment that no one had or has since.
There's a drive at the deep left field. Look out now. That ball is going down. World Series another. Mazeroski hits it over the left field fence for a home run, and the Pirates win it 10-9 and win the World Series.
It remains the only home run to end a Game 7 of a World Series.
When I hit second, I don't think I touched home all the way, or touched ground all the way to home.
In 2010, Mazeroski's celebration was immortalized in the form of a statue outside of PNC Park. But his biggest honor came nearly a decade prior, in 2001, when he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
I feel special. I don't think I'm going to make it.
Mazeroski's glove got him to Cooperstown. But on October 13th, 1960, it was his bat that sent a charge into the city that still echoes to this day, making Bill Mazeroski forever a Pittsburgh hero.
Mazeroski has hit a 1-0 pitch over the left field fence at Forbes Field to win the 1960 World Series for the Pittsburgh Pirates.